was this one on? There we go. Blazer guitar! I can't remember it now. I was going to go down in a blazer glory.
Oh.
See? Like the Blazing Saddles thing, and then actually when we were going, it was like, you're not playing a blazer, and neither am I.
Unscripted as fuck, yeah.
Yeah!
Already.
Sorry, as long as that wasn't the first 30 seconds, you're allowed to swear.
Pure Glaswegian, yeah.
Yeah, so this is, this is Scott. Hey you, sorry. Hey YouTube.
Hey YouTube.
Yeah, so me and Scott are going to talk about Ibanez blazers. We did
Ibanez.
Roadster Evolution.
Yeah, Evolution.
Go for the Roadster Guitar Evolution. Yeah, we did a video. Scott bought a 90s reissue blazer, and I've got an old 81, 82 one. So we did a wee video talking about them, and then I've actually got an 86 one as well, which is different, and then Scott acquired another one, which we'll get to. We're not ready for that one yet, so just... Yeah, I've also...
That one.
Yeah. So, Ibanez started off just as a
music shop.
A music shop, and they bought Ibanez guitars from Italy? Spain. Spanish guitars, yeah. And
yeah, there was a big fad for them back in the early 1900s for kind of Spanish music and guitar, classical music in Japan.
Alright.
So a lot of people were buying up classical guitars and stuff like that, so the Ibanez family started importing them.
Yep.
And then Japanese being Japanese and craftsmen and stuff like that were able to take that guitar and make a amazing copy of it.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got an Ibanez old 70s Japanese classical guitar.
Yeah, but you can get 50s ones as well, 60s ones, really early ones, and they're really good guitars. Like, same as the acoustic guitars they made back then, it was superb quality, really well crafted.
Yeah. And then they became a bit more of a sort of
business, yeah.
A business, what do you got, like GHS, a distributor?
Sort of, yeah.
So they were kind of importing all different lines all over the place, and then they started making...
It was a Japanese company who nominated Japanese builders, but you had to be really good. I mean, the quality of the instruments that you got back in the early days were so good that the Americans brought up a lawsuit against them.
Now that's from... So that's why I'm playing this, even though it says Antoria on the headstock. This is in the Ibanez catalogues from 71 to 76, is it?
Yeah, because you got that brand.
I decided this was... I would just call this 73 because I remember it was in the middle, 71 to 75, and I thought 73 that'll do. So even though it's Antoria, these did come Ibanez branded, and this is when
as well was the other brand.
Yes,
was
there's a post on the original Japanese fan club, and it had 4 people, and one person had posted, I've never seen this make before, and it was this guitar, and then 3 other people had posted other things with other different makes, and none of them were Ibanez, none of them were Antoria, but they were definitely this exact guitar. You can tell by the way it's got like a, see the shape of the bridge here, and it's got like the output jacks here, and it's got like a Les Paul toggle switch. It doesn't have the middle pickup, and the pickups are all different.
But yeah, that's precisely why they brought up a lawsuit, because they were so close. In fact, probably better in a lot of senses.
I mean, it's a 3-piece neck.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's quality-wise, it feels amazing.
Yeah,
Apart from the frets in this are absolutely goose, but
you just couldn't deny the quality of the guitars and the price point as well. They were a lot cheaper than their American counterparts, the originals. So they brought up a lawsuit, and kind of that was the end of Ibanez. I think
to be fair, Ibanez didn't fight it in any way because they had already kind of decided to do their own ones.
Well, they were already making amazing guitars, and they didn't have to make that many changes to turn it into their own thing, which they did with the artist. The Roadstar first.
Right. Roadstar.
We've got somebody who's going to be giving you a video at some point.
Yes, we've got a few special guests.
Yeah, so the Roadstar, the first
Roadstar
iteration was like just the Japanese version of a Strat, Ibanez Strat basically.
I'm going to try and do some fancy stuff here and see if I can make this work. What I want is if I go to that, bang, right, and then I go to...
Is this the first one?
Yeah, this is the first one. I've got you can see the catalogues at the back. I'm probably going to try and just get the cursor to go off that screen onto this screen. Grab the corner of this. Yeah. Pull us down. Right. Oh no, that's not doing. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to shrink it. Yeah, I've got to grab the corner like that. Yes, like so. You know, obviously this has all been edited and stuff. Yeah. Yes. Right, and then
on the fly.
Yeah, totally. And then what I do here is which is one of these turns off. Window capture 2. Bang. Yeah. Bugger, didn't work. No, it didn't. Press the wrong button right there. Tapassi! So this is Ivor's original
Ibanez.
Original Ibanez Roadster.
Excellent. There you go.
So there you go, Roadstar. And my thinking is, look at how squint the letters are.
I know. But just that's the first kind of their first launch into the Strat market, and you can see it's very similar.
Yeah, it's got like
hooks.
It's got the hooks.
Yeah.
With the person
There's a fishy connection there. Apparently, if you get like a trout or a salmon or anything like that, and you let it go long enough, wild enough, it'll turn into a hooked jod. There's a name for that. What's it called? I should have done the research. I'm sure somebody.
I can picture it. This is
you get wild salmon and wild trout, and if you let them go enough generations, they start to develop hooks on the ends of their. Which is what the thought was with these things, yeah.
Right. So just to make it a wee bit different from a Strat.
A bit different.
You can see there's a bit like a Strat. It's actually very similar to. This is an excuse. I can do it without knocking anything over.
This is a nice guitar.
This my Yamaha. So it's an SC400, but it's got a very similar bridge to that, and it's also got. That's not the same kind of bridge.
It's not the same kind of bridge, but it's kind of getting there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then this has got the bigger pickups with the sort of rings on it. So very similar to that one.
Oh Christ, that is. It's almost identical, isn't it?
Just.
I mean, I would venture to say that.
But I don't
know.
The point of this bridge was, you want to go through body to get more sustain. No. What you want is to go in a straight line. So that's what the buff for this was, but there's no brake angle.
Right, okay.
It's like basically, that thing that you think?
Well, yeah.
We think it's the opposite, whatever it is. And who's to say whether
look at the quality of that guitar is amazing.
Look at the headstock on it as well.
The build quality is just brilliant. It really is.
It's a stunner.
Yeah, nice guitar. But I mean, the hardware is almost identical.
Yeah.
To that one over there.
It looks very similar.
But yeah, the Roadstar. So that was the first iteration of this, where it all began, isn't it? For this line of guitar.
Yes, as far as we know.
And it really took off. There we go. Yeah.
Right, hold on, 2 seconds. Closer.
It's similar. This is kinda. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
that was my super surprise thing. That's why I was looking a bit cagey there, because I'm really crap at lying. So I was actually went down to Ivor's last night and picked up.
Oh bloody hell, it is. That's it.
So I was just toying with you.
Let's see the bridge then.
So the bridge is, in fact.
Gaze it. I'll hold that. You hold this. Look at the size of the frets. They're huge. So there you go. It's got large frets.
Yeah, hold on.
And it's got a radius neck as well. I mean, it's not a huge radius. Maybe a 9.
I've actually got a radius gauge to test it. Is it not very similar to? There we go. See, they've got the two cameras on.
Oh right, okay, yeah. It's it looks like a 9. It's not a.
It's not.
I don't know. See, it's a nice neck. Yeah.
I've got that. I can lean it against.
It's strung through like a Telecaster onto a metal, which makes a difference, doesn't it?
And I cleaned that up. I went and got that last night. I was talking to Ivor if he could send me a video, and then it was like, actually, you're not that far away. Right. Mad tuners on it. Let's see what the fretboard radius. You're going for. Your bets are on 9.
I think it's about a 9. Yeah.
I don't think I've got a 9.5. Right, 9.5. Must be an easy way to do this.
No, unfortunately not.
I would say you're very much right. Yeah. So it's a 9.5. I'm totally sure that my Blazer. So if I hold up to the camera, there's the bridge there. It's not really quite the same as the
Roadster To.
No, as the Yamaha, because it's a Yamaha, but it's a similar sort of idea.
So look at the pickups. That looks like those monster pickups that you have on your Blazer.
I think they are.
If you've got a multimeter, we can check the impedance and see what they are in comparison to.
Yes,
your
I can.
Blazer.
Yes, I can. What a really is.
Well, that's a resonant guitar. It's one of those ones when you strum it, you can actually feel it here.
Is my ass showing on the screen?
Yeah. Somewhere to park a bike we've got there.
Yeah, I do actually. Where is my multimeter? I've got to test it. But I was looking to see if you look at the
my ears are good.
I'm doing things now. I'm doing things. So here's the thing. Is that zoomable in enough so I can actually read it? Maybe, I don't know if you'll be able to read it on the big screen, but it's an AccuCast tailpiece.
Right.
A Quadralock 4-bolt neck mount. Super 6 and Super Tap 6 pickups, so they are
the same as them, so
they are the same.
And they're tapped as well?
No, it says Super 6 and Super Tap 6. They're different, because that's what I hoped was it. I hoped it was the Super Tappable ones that were in mine, but they're not.
So
no. Those tuners, you can't use string winders on them because they unscrew.
Really?
See, there's a sort of collar on it.
Alright.
It unscrews that if you use a string winder. That's it. But I gave that a clean down last night. I was asking Ivor, has it got is it decent strings on it? Do you mind if I put new ones on? He's like, well, they were the ones that were on it when I got it, and you go, right. Not met it in a while.
Neck feels just like a Strat of the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
much,
so the thinking was
late 70s, early 80s C.
Yes,
Fend
I was told
shape.
right. There's something somewhere that says about the Blazer was made at a different factory because Fujigen didn't know how to do Fender necks.
Fender necks, right, okay.
But which makes sense if you're talking about a Fender neck being a one-piece maple neck with a truss rod in the back, because that's a two-piece. So I think this is Fujigen, and then I think the Blazers were so they could learn because Dyna,
that's the name of the factory I was trying to think.
Must have made.
Right, okay.
Used to make one-piece necks, which sort of makes sense, and then that's why maybe when the Roadstar 2 came back later on, it was the belter, though.
Yeah, it really is. It's in great condition, isn't it?
It is. I don't know if I could find it. Is it an RS 1000 or is it? This is all these the catalogues I've got on the big screen there are on the Ibanez their official website. If you just go back, you can look them all up, and some of them are quite high spec, and some of them, you know, just.
What are So you can see a definite difference.
Yes. Well, that's it doesn't go in this order because that one goes with my Blazer because it's.
Yeah, well, this is the first one.
That's the first one.
There's your Blazer, then it's that.
Yes.
And that's how it goes. But you can see. Let's put them face by face and see if there's any kind of construction differences. There's not really, is there?
This has got a smaller headstock, doesn't it?
Slightly. But that's common for.
And I suppose they get rid of the racing stripes
for the 70s and 80s. Well, they can come back to them later on if you go back up to your Blazer.
Yeah.
Where's the other one?
Ditch
Over there. Yeah.
We'll ditch the tail.
Roadstar 2, get rid of the stripes. But it's pretty much the same. Let's see that other Blazer over.
I was going to give you that Blazer over because it's closer.
Yeah.
We're trying to do this in time order.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 81.
Yeah.
Even though it's an 82 catalogue.
Right.
So pickups, same. But this is a one-piece neck.
I'd venture to say that the pots underneath are going to be the same, and the switch will no doubt be the same.
Yes, it possibly could have been. The black versions of those pickups.
That's a really
this
nice
is good.
bridge, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's a lot of
no messing about with that.
No. Look at that.
I would rather have that than this on this.
Yeah. It's a really well designed, really well thought out bridge, but you can see why you wouldn't continue with that because that must have been expensive to make.
That's it, yeah. Or you can just put a wee bent piece of metal on.
It doesn't look machined. It looks cast.
Yeah.
The bit here, I don't know, but bloody hell, that's nice.
It cleaned up very well. The guitar wasn't that dirty. Yeah. It was a wee bit dusty, but it just had that. This hasn't been white, maybe been polished in 20 years. It was really dull, so I just gave it a quick
Those tuners are. I've never seen anything like that with those collars on there before. I wonder if is that some sort of locking thing?
No, it seems to unscrew the. Let me. Can I get a second? So hold up to the camera so.
Maybe always out of action. I don't know.
I suppose it could lock it. It just seemed to unscrew. Give me over a second. I'm going to hold up to the camera so you'll know what we're talking about. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yep. So, like you see, there's a wee knurled collar there.
Yeah, kind of collar type thing.
And they say on the back,
patent
pending.
That's
So,
an early kind of locking type thing to stiffen it up.
I don't know. I've got a couple of my Arias have ones, and the Yamake's early came with them, and they've got like it's not a knurled collar, but it's like he's got two wee pins to turn it, and it's like a sort of tensioner rather than having the screw gun on the top. You know, to tension it up, it somehow does that. But 5 of them do.
Yeah. Strat makes Strat face. So it feels very much like a Strat of its age, apart from the missing tone thing. So it's a master volume and a tone.
Master
volume. That one.
Same as this one. Yeah.
Except you've got a phase switch. That seems to be the only real difference, isn't it?
Yes.
Real advances.
The phase switch is. I'm going to angle that camera down a bit.
Yeah.
It's just we're kind of.
So it looks like a poly finish as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't see like.
No.
Cracks or something.
Well, no,
cracks.
it's not quite. See the way it you can usually tell the way it kind of cracks and stuff like that. If
Yeah.
that was nitrocellulose, there would be cracks coming away from it. Do you know
Right. Yeah. Aye. So it's cracked in below, and it's just enough to give it one.
It's enough to dent and scratch the pavement, but it's definitely a poly finish. But that's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's applied properly and it's not over the top like this one's not, then it's not that much difference from nitrocellulose, I imagine.
Yeah. But I think they're normally most of the ones you see of this era are natural.
Yeah.
They're either light wood or a darker mahogany type stain.
Yeah. Which was a selling point back in the day because not that many people were willing to show the bodywoods because they were made from patchwork quilts or MDF.
Yes. Yeah. Not plywood. Plywood's fine.
No.
But it's like the MDF and stuff like that. You start going right.
But they made these out of all sorts of stuff. I mean, this one would be alder or ash, I'm guessing. It's not that heavy.
Yeah.
But it's that classic marriage of alder or ash to a maple neck. Do you know what I mean? It makes a Strat. I think that's classic Strat.
Yeah. So they're just they're starting off with a Strat copy, and then they're improving it.
Well, this
and then it's going through because that does feel more Stratty than this one does.
Yeah. That one's got a peculiar neck on it. How thick is the top? It's mine we were looking at then. This one's kind of the same as that.
That's the same as this. Yeah.
So that seems to be another feature of the vintage guitars, that they've got quite a thick head on them.
Yeah.
That definitely thins down by the time you get to the next iteration.
Yes. So that one will stick as well. Yeah, well done. Done a bit more technicality with our special guest, who is okay. This bit might just be getting pulled for copyright infringement. But there's
Actually, interestingly, we have that blazer, that one over there.
Yeah.
It's kind of roughly in the same neighbourhood as that one.
As that one?
Yeah. Hold on.
I think is that a blazer he's got there? I can't remember.
That's a blazer that he's had refretted and got new pickups put into it. He talks about it, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of put it on. I did try not to get. If he sees it, and Paul, we think you're awesome. And it's a Premier Guitar is that website, so you can check that out.
Yeah, it's a bit early with his Christmas album, though. As much as I love him, yeah, his Christmas album, he's released it and he's punting it already. So
really?
Christmas songs? No.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the same, an iteration of that.
No, I think that's an early one.
I think. Know, is that not when he was talking about it? You could be right, you know. Maybe I'm remembering the wrong video, but I think that is a blazer, I'm sure.
I'm sure he said it was a blazer, but if it's so is that one.
Yeah.
But if it's he said he got a new scratch plate fitted to it, so maybe it was HSH.
He got that removed and moved down the side. No, they made these. This is the standard blazer,
right?
And you could get it as 3 singles, or you could get it as this.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But he's basically moved these two down and that off the front round the side. Which, to be honest with you, is what I would do.
And moved them round it. He's obviously put a magnet in it as well, and he's got. Well, as he said, he'd refretted it with jumbo frets, or he got his guy to refret it with jumbo frets and make the scratch plate, and he had 2 DiMarzios in a drawer, so he bought.
Like he would.
But tuners, bridge, and all that. Everyone else is just stock. Yeah. He's playing away there.
Yeah, so it's very much down the vintage strat. If you look at the amount of frets we've got as well,
yeah. Always mighty impressed with Paul likes his Ibanez.
Well, he's really brand loyal, isn't he?
He's got so many of them. I think Ibanez made everything. So you see him doing like
the V's and the destroyers.
The destroyers. He's getting the most beautiful Ibanez destroyers, the Explorers, and it's like, oh, it just happens to be Ibanez. I'm allowed to play all these. What? No, I'll play a contract where I'll only play it. That's not whatever you want. They'll have made one.
But if you listen to this, can we hear him? Are we allowed to hear him?
On the internet, and it came in a box, and I took it out of the box, and man, this guitar is awesome. It has such good tones to it. The low string, it's got something magical about it. Let me do it.
Paul's quite good with the guitar.
He's not bad,
Anyway, I'm getting all excited about this guitar. Let me tell you some of the details. I took it to the shop and had some work done to it. Had new frets put on, so I got high frets so I can do my bendy stuff. And I had a slide magnet put in. There's a magnet under there that holds my slide in place so I can.
He's had it entirely reworked.
DiMarzio pickups. I've got DiMarzio injector. These were extras I had in my closet. I only had 2, so I put a DiMarzio Area
51.
61? No, Area 67, I believe, was the one. They all sound good, and they all have no hum. You can crank them up with full distortion.
Yeah, anyway, on this, I don't want to get a copyright strike from the audio. I probably shouldn't be letting it run, but I mean, Paul's awesome. I think I love the way that, although it's technically amazing, it's always funny.
Oh, he's got a lot of humour in his playing.
Very much. It's always pure. It's always really silly. I think.
He's got the fixed bridge version.
Yes, and it's a funny bridge though, which makes me think it's not that one, because he says in fact, I think that's what he's talking about.
I think what they do is they start to string through, don't they? Because when you get to this one, it's
stock tuners. I think that's about.
You mentioned the bridge.
That's about all the pieces. Oh, I had a new pick guard.
Oh right, no, I must have missed the bridge bit.
I don't like to have a volume here. I actually, I'll get.
Yeah. I forgot what we were saying now.
Let's have a look at the back of this one. So if you look at the back of this one, it's just a slab body, right? See, this is the unusual thing. I'll actually just point out, if you look at the first one, the first iteration, this one here has the belly curve and it has the top corner relief as well.
Yes.
This one is just a slab body. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a slab. There's no contours on it at all.
On the back or on the front?
On the back, there's nothing. It's not drilled through. So there's very much a change in the quality of construction between these two guitars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a much more expensive bridge on it. This one here, it's top loader, kinda. Funny.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's the one where you've got to actually hook it in. He actually talks about that bridge.
Oh, is it that? So he said that
he
mentioned something about it's kind of difficult to work out what it is to do with the strings, but they're on now. It's fine.
It's one of those ones.
Whereas obviously he could just have got another bridge if he just asked his guitar tech to put it on. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. But the thing you notice about a bridge like that is that the tension of the strings is definitely different. It's a lot. It fights you more.
Right.
So the same strings between my guitars, when you bend the strings on this one, definitely fights you a bit
because
more.
There's more string behind it, so it's wobbly. Yeah.
Less. Literally hooks.
Sorry, I mean there's more string behind it in and a through body. Yeah.
It's
So kind of having a big gap between.
So it's interesting.
The nut and the tuners, and between the bridge and the.
There's such a change.
Yeah.
Between the years, do you know what I mean? Because that guitar's obviously a lot more expensive to make than this one.
Yes. But I mean, things we haven't yet worked out what year exactly that one is. I think it's 83.
Yeah.
Where's it?
Somewhere
We'll
between
go
81
to the 81 catalogue, that's what Blazers look like. It's quite good. I'm going to have to look at them for a wee bit.
So anyway. It's either just before or...
Actually, there's a BL50.
Yeah, but this is a Roadster 2, so
it's later anyway.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, these are all Blazer.
Yeah.
There's a mahogany one. The cheapest one's mahogany and all the rest are ash. And they've got...
Typical.
Yeah. Then 82 is... There's Adrian Bellew, but I think it's at the top of this page, if I remember correctly, is where my one sits.
5. You can see those high mast bridges are still there.
Yeah.
And then you get those ones. But
Yes.
again, those ones have got better bridges than... This is the one that's got the skeleton pieces that are exactly the same. I ordered these new, but they're identical to the ones that you get.
Right.
It's basically skeleton Telecaster.
And you scoop the top 3 on the right hand side of the post and the bottom 3 on the top and the left hand side of the post.
But I mean, that is quite an interesting advance. You usually find guitars when they evolve they get better, but this has definitely taken a step backwards for some reason.
Yeah.
It really has.
It must just be price.
Yeah,
they must have brought it, because if you look at these, like this is, although there is 100.
It's unusual because
this is a this was the 450.
The thing about this one that's unusual as well, it's got such a nice neck. It's really nicely flamed and all the rest of it. It's a one-piece neck.
It's almost identical to this one.
Bolted to a single, bolted to a very plain body.
You can see there, probably to tell you what it is.
It's not. What I was looking for. It's not ply. It's a solid.
It's not ply. No, it's not mahogany either.
So it's probably. It looks like ash.
It does.
But they used birch as well.
Yeah. No, it says both.
Yeah.
It's like that and birch. I noticed the one that Paul had has obviously been stripped.
Right.
His had a line on it where you could see it was like an extra piece of wood. So that one wouldn't have been a natural one, because I don't think these natural ones we're looking at here would come with that. It would be a different. The ones that had a mad coloured strip on them would be solid painted.
Everything about this guitar screams Strat though, even though it's not as well made as that one or that one.
Well,
yeah, it's a strange thing.
I don't know. I like it. It's got a sort of...
Oh, it does. It's got a charm.
Yeah.
But just from a technical standpoint, it's not as accomplished a guitar as either of these two.
Yeah.
As far as the finish is concerned, the body finish particularly. I mean, this isn't bad. It's all right. I'm not complaining.
No, I don't think that's it.
But you get used to small things like a belly cut.
Yes, I didn't notice when I was playing it. It's good. There's something different. The neck's the same as this though. I don't think there's really any difference.
That one obviously because it's much more comfortable.
But I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't to play it. Something's different, and he said there's no contours. I was like, totally no, there is. It kind of makes it, I suppose, like a bit more telly-like in that respect. A bit
more like a telly in
but
that
also
respect.
See, like the whole ethos of a telly. I think the pure simple, only the necessary parts thing and all that. It's kind of got a bit of that to it without having the trem and stuff. It's just like a base. Basically, it's a basic model.
Very basic, but I don't know what's that one. Is that quite high up the range as well?
I don't know. I couldn't find it in the catalogue. The thing, they didn't necessarily make them all the same just because it's in the catalogue. Because this guitar's 81 and it's not in the 81 catalogue. It's in 82. So they had the guitars. Some of the guitars would have been built in advance, and then they made the catalogue. And some of them, the catalogue, has. They make the catalogue 6 months before they start building them, and then we never bothered building that one, or we decided not to do it in white. So even though it says you can only get it in black and white, you can get it in red and black instead.
So I wonder if you go further higher up the range in the same year as this one, if you start to get body sculpting, that could be a possibility. I would think so. Yeah. There must be it must make it cheaper not having to carve those bits. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, because there's no time spent. You think about the machine hours that you would save, not by missing that. That just be basically using they'd just be using it in two dimensions, just two runs. Yeah. But curiously enough, it's weird these things. They're probably trying to hit $100 price point or something like that. That's probably it. I mean, this guitar sat in a loft for 20 years with no strings on it or anything like that, and it's survived. Yeah. And the only reason you don't have the original neck plate, that's why we don't know the year. And what was the other thing? The bridge saddles. Because the guy took them off to clean them, to brasso them, and forgot where to put them. So it's like they didn't disintegrate or fall off or anything. They were just taken off to be cleaned and then got lost. And it got stickers put on it by a teenager. In fact, a very young teenager, Easy T, her name was. Green Day fan. Green Day? Yeah, so this guitar's going to my daughter. Claimed it? Because of the family connection. Yeah, and I thought I was going to get a Telecaster back, but apparently no. No, you're losing the telly as well? No, the telly's gone, the black one. Kids nowadays, mate. Ah, dear. They said daughters are really expensive.
I'll teach you to play the guitar. Aren't you pleased?
Yeah.
90%. 90% really pleased.
So glad.
There's just the wee niggle there of like losing all your guitars though. It's part of it.
It's quite funny though, because a guitar teacher must not wonder what the hell's going on. Why is this wee kid got a better guitar than me?
It's ridiculous. I don't know if it's really worth it doing these videos. So 83, this is the year which I think that one is. There's your bridge.
There you go, there is, yeah.
That's it. So the saddles are kind of those sort of L-shaped ones.
The skeleton ones to call them.
Yeah.
It's the very same.
Yeah, so we think that could be the guitar. Now you can see that actually. Is that?
That looks like a multi-piece, but it's definitely ash.
Yeah. So I think that's
Yeah.
definitely going to Ibanez site, look through these. So we're pretty fair up through these. We're now up at. Oh no, that's the year also your thingies.
Do you want to hold that up to that camera?
The gull wing.
The strap destroyers. I really like them. The V-shaped.
These V-shaped things here.
String locks.
Yeah, which are incredibly expensive.
Yeah. What are they? About 80 quid a set online.
So something stupid. Aye, because people are willing to pay for them. I remember looking for them years ago, and it was like building. I think it might be my Schecter Strat, building my dream guitar. You know, that was happy. Oh, I like those Ibanez ones. I've seen them before, and then it's just it feels different. The neck's the same.
This guitar feels completely different.
It sits differently.
It does, doesn't it?
It doesn't sit. It just doesn't. It's like a Telecaster.
That's what it is. This guitar feels. I don't know. That one feels more stratty than this.
That seems dead chunky to me. I don't know why. I've never seen is the body the same size? Maybe just because I painted that stupid colour, it pure sticks out and looks like it's bigger.
I think that's what it is. I think the bodies are the same size, but the headstocks all change size. I mean, if you look at that one compared to this one's starting to go thin again. Starting to get slimmer. That one's slightly fatter. I mean, that way.
Yeah, this one's fatter than that one.
It's got more girth going that way.
Is it?
This one's slightly narrower, yeah.
That's bizarre.
And that's
it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same shape.
Camera so as you can see them. Because one of them's got the racing stripe, the other one hasn't.
You can get the angles right. Not gonna be that easy to do.
See, one's got the racing stripe, one hasn't.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the next year, see if you just hold that there, that's a good shot there. See if you hold that there. What I'll do is I'll hold up the first one.
Right. Well, we're getting technical now.
Getting into the dimensions.
Yes. And this is if you put it behind this one, that's them in order as well. Yeah.
Can we see all of that?
Bad reflections.
Bad reflections, but you can see the middle one is slightly thinner than any of the other two. See that?
Yeah. That one's definitely bigger.
Definitely fatter.
Ivor's one's definitely fatter.
But that was
these two are closer.
That was definitely a 70s thing.
Yeah.
And then it started to thin down towards the end of the 70s.
Yeah, so it's not,
there you go.
Look, it's not quite this. It's not. They're not the same. That's different there. Than, but you go for the full set. We've got 4 hands. I've got a spare one. And that's the smaller one.
That's the smallest.
That's a 95 reissue.
This is 1995, yeah.
F5 and Fuji Gen. Apart from this one, which I think is Dyna.
You don't often see that, do you? That's quite a rare thing to see. That's.
Yeah, I'm going to get a big see for the thumbnail picture. We're going to have to pile them up. We'll sit there with just all of them sitting there for
right in front of us. Yeah,
make a proper.
This is not the mall either. This is just half. Not even. Is this half?
We're probably getting towards thinking about being halfway. 4,
yeah. 5, 6. Many other Ibanez's do we have? Is it 6 we've got all together
1, 2, 3,
for today?
5, 6. No.
Yeah.
The destroyer's got to count, doesn't it? Because
I suppose it does. Yeah, that one.
I was going to bring that through because it's got the pickups.
And
so that we're
and the
currently we're at 1984. So we've got. I think that one's 1980. Ivor's one.
Yeah.
Nope, this one is Ivor's one, isn't it? Nope, this is your one.
This is Ivor's because it's better made. It's got the telly bottom end on it.
Yes. So that one's 80, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. It is 80 definitely.
C80, right? And this one is L81, but it's an 82 catalogue. So this kind of covers 81 and 82.
Yeah, if you look at the bottom of that, it's got that metal. Part.
Which I cleaned up just about 2 seconds with the brasso and it came up.
Mass bridge.
Came up beauty.
And yeah.
And then that's a Roadstar.
Intonation's been. See, whenever you're setting a guitar, it always leaves ghosts of the past.
Yeah.
Look at intonation marks.
That string's not actually sitting on there. On the groove.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah, there's your
There you go.
thingies though. That's the saddles that should be on this one.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're roughly the same idea.
Yeah. Got a gap in the middle, which I keep noticing. But
It looks like a gap to the yokel, doesn't it?
Yeah. But the strings are lined up perfectly, so that counts for that. Yeah, so that's 80. This one's 80, 81. The difference is being, apart from this has got the one piece neck. I think that's the big difference because it's a different factory. Same pickups. It's got a scratch plate, and this is the Stratty version. There might, in fact, looking there.
It's not the most basic version. This one was quite high up in the range.
It's the second highest in the range.
Second
The
highest
highest
in the
one was a 550, which has a tremolo and the coil split in a nicer colour. And then the one below it's a 500, which has got the coil split, the coil tap, the nicer colour, and it's a hardtail. And then you get this one, the 450, which is.
And I reckon that one that we're looking at here, this one, is Bargain Basement Ibanez Roadstar 2 series. I think that must be the first in all of the ranges, kind of thing.
Yes. The lowest number.
Yeah.
So this maybe be the 100 or the
Something
150,
like that,
something like
But
that.
again, because it's Ibanez, it's consistent and it plays.
It's
really
basic.
well on the
Probably I
necks.
bet you only came in
Brilliant.
black
Yeah.
or black and white. You know, there would be no other,
Something like that.
no other colours.
Yeah, the output of the pickups and stuff is really good. We don't have a voltage meter. We should do that sometime in the future.
Or maybe pause it at some point.
Yeah,
How far in? Were we?
Yeah, the output.
Half an hour.
The output is very similar to a Strat. Very Stratty. It's
These
not,
are
not as loud as my American Strat.
Whenever it was, I saw that. Cause it's in one of the catalogues. It doesn't appear to be on this page, but there's definitely a catalogue with this in it, and I'm sure it says it's Super 5 pickups.
Yeah, it does. That's what they're called.
Aye, so they're.
These are Super 6.
Those are Super 6.
Look at the size of the pole pieces in them though. Chunky bastards. Chunky boys.
Chunky boys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that output jack's not original either, being a plastic amplifier output jack.
No.
Yeah.
Does the job though, eh?
Well, yes. It's like I didn't bother changing it.
See, I suppose one of the temptations with guitars like this is to actually just drill it at the side, innit?
I'm a huge fan of the top loaded.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, no, I like the Strat. Well, it doesn't have a Strat one. You know, I like the Strat one, but I hate the one in the corner because it just means you can't sit. You're forever sitting like this, trying to.
Yeah, but this has got a lovely neck, even though it's laminated. It's one piece. This one, isn't it?
It can't be. It's no skunks, right?
All right, neither is. I can see it now. It's just really well laminated.
Yeah. We were reckoning that Dinah knew how to do that with.
I think it did.
That looks like that one
It's really
for
nice,
a couple of years.
Really nice neck. I mean, it really is. If you look at an American neck of the same year, basically, and you kind of look at it closely, this is quality-wise, it's every bit as good.
Yeah.
Wow.
But interesting the way.
It must have been a scary time in American guitar history.
So that's a 9.5 inch radius. We checked that in the video. Yeah, and that's a 7 1/4. This.
It's about a 9.5 as well. It's roughly the same as this.
So when they went to the other factory, I wonder if they went back.
Yeah. That's a single piece, isn't it?
Yes. It's got a skunk stripe.
It's a nice neck, that one.
It is.
On a cheap body.
It is.
So they obviously just used the same necks throughout the ranges and just changed the bottom ends.
And the Ibanez smooth tuners. Just like, why would you want that
All
many?
standard.
Why would you want any more? Right.
Where do we go to after this? Is that this one?
I don't know, I think that's been half an hour, so we'll make this the end of this episode 1. I'll find the multimeter. We'll pause it. I'll find the multimeter. So that's been 4.
4 of us. Yeah, well, hold on a minute. This one's kind of a bit of an imposter because it's from the 90s.
Yes.
And it's a reissue.
Yeah, but it's a Blazer.
But it's a Blazer and it's definitely part of the group.
Yes, and it's a Roadster and this is a Roadstar. And my theory is they just spelt it's because they just spelt it not very well.
Yeah.
They went, oh, Roadstar, it must be Roadstar, not Roadster. Then it's like, well,
we'll just stick with that. Yeah.
We'll just stick with that. You know, it's just like you've seen the Japanese translations. You know, it says custom made on it. In Japanese, that translates as what it is, as opposed to actually being custom made. Oh. See, this is the ultimate expression of craftsmanship.
Is it not all ultimate?
No. Oh, just might not say custom made. Yours, these ones are custom made.
Yeah, this one's
not custom made. It's also Ibanez with a registered trademark on it.
Yeah.
Whereas none of the other ones do.
Yeah, they do, actually. That's a fair point. Interesting bit of history there for you.
Yeah!
Chunk of Ibanezes that you won't often see together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So we'll see you Next episode, which will be in 5 minutes, but I'll find the multimeter so we can check this out, and we'll just continue on. Rocket, where's the stop recording button? Right, no, not that quick. There we go, stop recording now.